Hello everyone, all my dear students. Today we are going to see a new video lecture on this half wave rectifier. In our previous video lecture, we had seen introduction about the rectifier. We had seen that what is the rectifier, then we had seen the types of the rectifier, as well as we had seen how the rectifier works and what type of the electronic component, electronic device we are using for the construction of the rectifier. Now we have to see this half wave rectifier. As we know, the rectifier converts bidirectional AC voltage, as the rectifier converts the bidirectional AC voltage into the unidirectional DC voltage. The sine wave here is used to represent the AC waveform, and here one horizontal flat line is used to represent the DC voltage. Okay, so here the rectifier is an electronic circuit which converts the bidirectional AC voltage into the unidirectional DC voltage. In simple words, we can say it converts the AC voltage into the DC voltage. If there is a question in your examination, then that question may be like this. Explain the working of half wave rectifier with the help of its circuit diagram and the waveforms. Here the circuit diagram of the half wave rectifier we have to see. We have to see how the half wave rectifier can work, and we also see what are the various parameters of the half wave rectifier and the advantages, disadvantages of the half wave rectifier. In our next lecture, we will see some examples on the half wave rectifier. Okay, so let's start. What is this half wave rectifier? As its name indicates, it is half wave. As its name indicates, it is half wave. It means it converts only the half cycle of the AC input into the DC. It converts only the positive half cycle into the DC. That's why this is we call as half wave rectifier. We have to see the diagram of the half wave rectifier, and we have to see what type of output we get and how we get the output by using this half wave rectifier. Here we have the circuit diagram of the half wave rectifier. For the construction of this half wave rectifier, we required only one diode, and here we required to use one transformer. As we discussed earlier, the transformer we required for the two purpose. Two reasons are there why we are using the transformer in the power supply. The question is why we are using the transformer in the rectifier. The answer is so simple. First, we require to isolate the AC mains current and the DC power supply current which we are using for the various electronic circuits. The second reason is we are using the step down transformer. For an example, suppose we require to construct a power supply, DC power supply, which can provide only plus 5 volts. If we not use the transformer and directly we connect the AC supply to the rectifier, then here it is very hard to reduce the output voltage up to the 5 volts. So that's why initially we reduce the AC voltage, and reduce AC voltage is applied to the rectifier. So whatever the output voltage we get, that output voltage is the less output voltage, and it is very easy to reduce this output voltage to a desired value, to a required value. Okay, so this is the diagram of the half wave rectifier. It uses only one diode, and here one load resistor is connected in between the positive and the negative terminal. In detail, we will see its diagram and the output waveforms. Here is the same diagram. What we use here, this is a one transformer. That transformer is we call as a step down transformer. We use the step down transformer. The transformer having the two windings. The first winding is we call as a primary winding, and the second winding is we call as a secondary winding. The two windings are there. The first winding is the primary winding, the winding which is connected, or you can say the coil instead of the winding. The primary coil is that coil which is connected to the AC main supply, and the other coil which is used for getting the secondary voltage. That coil is we call as the secondary coil. The primary coil having the two terminals. These two terminals are connected to the AC main supply, and here the transformer secondary winding is having the two secondary terminals. The upper terminal we consider as terminal A, and here it is the lower terminal, we consider it as the terminal B. Means the transformer secondary having the two terminals. These two terminals are the terminal A and B. At the terminal A, the upper terminal, the anode of the diode is connected, and at the cathode of the diode as well as to the terminal B, we connect the load resistor RL. The load resistor RLs across we get the average DC output voltage. The output voltage of the rectifier is we call as the average DC output voltage, and here this average DC output voltage is the effect of the current flowing through the load resistor RL. It is the effect of the current flowing through the load resistor RL, and that current is we call as the load current IL. Okay, so the diode is connected at the winding or at the coil's upper terminal, and the load resistor is connected in between the cathode and the lower terminal. Across the load resistor, across means in parallel, across the load resistor RL we get the output voltage. That output voltage is we call as DC output voltage, VDC, and this VDC is the effect of the current flowing through the load resistor RL. Okay, so this is the construction of this half wave rectifier. This is the construction. Construction means how the circuit is constructed, how the circuit is connected, how the various components, various devices used in circuit connected together to obtain the required output, to obtain the required function from that particular circuit. Okay, so this is the construction of this half wave rectifier, and now we have to see how the rectifier works. As we know, the rectifier converts the bidirectional AC voltage into the unidirectional DC voltage. Here, this all is done by using one electronic device, and that device, that component is we call as a diode. In our last video lecture, we discussed about how the ideal diode works, how the diode can be used as a on switch and the off switch. If you not seen that video lecture, then I will provide its link in the I button at the right hand side top here, and also I will provide its link in the description box, or I will pin the comment. So here you watch that video and then you come to watch this video, because the functioning of the diode is very important for the rectifier's working principle. Okay, so we have the PN junction diode. This PN junction diode having the two terminals. First terminal is the anode terminal, which is connected to the transformer secondary terminal, and second one is the cathode terminal, which is available here. Now here this diode can be used as a switch. It works as an on switch and it works as an off switch. But remember, here we are using the ideal diode, not the practical diode. If there is a practical diode, then it drops some voltage as well as its current parameters are different than the ideal diode. Okay, so we are using here the ideal diode, and this diode is connected in the circuit, and that circuit having one transformer. So here when the AC supply is considered, the AC supply is having one positive half cycle and one negative half cycle. Suppose here there is one positive half cycle. Here I am going to draw the positive half cycle of the AC mains supply. Here there is a positive half cycle. During this positive half cycle, the upper terminal of the transformer secondary terminal A gets positive and the terminal B gets negative. The terminal A is positive with respect to the terminal B. Terminal A is positive, terminal B gets negative. When there is negative half cycle, the polarities gets reversed. That we will see later on. Now consider there is a positive half cycle, and during this positive half cycle, the terminal A is positive and terminal B gets negative. The terminal A is positive with respect to the terminal B as the terminal B is negative. The terminal B is negative with respect to the terminal A. The anode of the diode is connected to the terminal A, and the cathode of the diode is connected. This one terminal is the cathode terminal, and this terminal is connected to the terminal B. So the anode of the diode is connected to the terminal A to the positive terminal, and the cathode of the diode is connected to the negative terminal through the load resistor RL. It means the diode gets in a forward bias condition. The two conditions of the diode connections are there. Either the diode may be in forward bias and the diode may be in reverse bias. In our last video lecture, we discussed about all these. So I think there is no need to tell you all about the diode function. Okay. So here when the diode gets in forward bias condition, it acts as a closed switch, and as we are using the ideal diode, means the resistance of the diode called as a forward resistance is 0. So here when there is a positive half cycle, the diode D gets in a forward bias condition as its anode is connected to the terminal A and the cathode is connected to the terminal B. So therefore here the diode acts as a closed switch. This diode acts as a closed switch and the current starts flowing through the diode. As the current starts flowing through the diode, the current starts flowing from the terminal A. The current starts flowing from the terminal A, then it flows through the diode D. After that here, when the current flows through the diode, it starts flowing from the anode terminal towards the cathode terminal. After that here, it flows through the load resistor RL, and then it completes its path towards the terminal B. When there is a positive half cycle, the diode gets in forward bias condition because the anode of the diode is connected to terminal A and cathode of the diode is connected to the terminal B. As the terminal A is positive and terminal B is negative, it makes the diode in forward bias condition, and as we know, in forward bias condition the diode acts as a closed switch. So therefore the current starts flowing from the terminal A, then it flows through the diode D. After that, it flows through the load resistor RL and it complete its path towards the terminal B. Okay, means here there is a current through the load resistor RL. Okay, now we have to use here the concept. That concept is whenever the current flows through the load resistor RL, it produces a voltage drop. Here there is a voltage drop across the load resistor RL, and here we get the output waveform. The output nature of output waveform is like the positive half cycle of the AC supply or the secondary of the transformer. Means here there is a positive half cycle at the AC main supply or the input wave. This waveform is for the input. Here I am going to write down input waveform. Okay, here this is the rectified output, or we can say the output waveform, rectified waveform or the output waveform. Okay, so here we get the output voltage. That output voltage is due to the current flowing through the load resistor RL, and the nature of that current is like the AC input wave. Okay, so here by conducting the diode D, we get the output voltage. Okay, now after this positive half cycle, there is a negative half cycle. After this positive half cycle, the negative half cycle arrives, as we had seen the waveform of the AC. Okay, so here there is a negative half cycle. Now during this negative half cycle, the polarity of the secondary of the transformer terminal A and terminal B gets reversed. Now the terminal B is positive, whereas the terminal A becomes negative. The anode is at its place. So the anode gets connected to the terminal A. Now the terminal A is negative. The cathode is connected to the terminal B. Terminal B is positive. It means the diode gets in reverse bias condition. The diode gets in reverse bias condition, and as we know, in reverse bias condition, the diode acts as a open switch. The diode acts as a off switch, means here suppose this is a diode, then it acts as a open switch. As we know, the open switch provides infinite resistance, so here the diode also provides infinite resistance, means the load current IL is equals to how much? It is equals to 0. Resistance is infinite, means the current is equals to 0. As the current is equals to 0, the voltage drop across this load resistor RL is also equals to 0 volts. Means current is 0. There is no current through the load resistor. As we said earlier, the resistor produces a voltage drop across it when the current flows through it. Now there is no current during this negative half cycle. So therefore here the load current IL is equals to 0. So therefore here the voltage VDC is also equals to 0. Okay, are you getting it? When there is a negative half cycle, the terminal A of secondary of transformer becomes negative and terminal B becomes positive. As the anode is connected to the terminal A and cathode is connected to the terminal B, the diode gets in reverse bias condition, and the reverse bias diode offers infinite resistance. So therefore there is no current through the diode and load resistor RL. So here the output voltage across the load resistor RL VDC equals to 0. Okay. Now after this negative half cycle, there is again positive half cycle, and during this positive half cycle, the polarity of the secondary terminals A and B again reverse, and now the terminal A gets positive whereas the terminal B gets negative. The terminal A is positive, terminal B is negative, so therefore here the diode acts as a closed switch, the diode acts as a on switch, and the current starts flowing from the terminal A. The current starts flowing from the terminal A, then it flows through the diode D. After that, it flows through the load resistor RL and it completes its path towards the terminal B. Here the direction of current is from the upper terminal of load resistor RL towards the lower terminal, and as we know, the current flows from the positive terminal towards the negative terminal. So here there is a positive polarity and here at the lower side negative polarity. When there is a positive half cycle, the terminal A gets positive whereas the terminal B gets negative. The diode gets in the forward bias condition. The diode gets in the forward bias condition. It acts as a closed switch. So therefore here there is a current through the load resistor RL and there is a voltage drop across the load resistor RL. Again, the voltage drop across load resistor RL having the same nature as that of the current flowing through the load resistor RL. Again here, during this positive half cycle, by conducting the diode D, we get the output voltage. That output voltage is we call as a DC output voltage. Okay, so here till now you have to write down the 3 paragraphs. First one is for the construction of the half wave rectifier. 3 to 4 lines you have to write down in first paragraph. You can write down like this: the half wave rectifier is we call as half wave rectifier because it utilizes only the positive half of the AC input wave. It uses a one transformer, one PN junction diode and a one load resistor RL. The anode of the diode is connected to the upper terminal of secondary of transformer and one load resistor RL is connected in between the lower terminal of secondary of transformer, and the output voltage is obtained across the load resistor RL. The transformer primary terminals are connected to AC main supply. Then you have to write down the working details. In working details, you have to describe what happens when there is a positive half cycle in one para and what happens when there is a negative half cycle in other one paragraph. So when there is a positive half cycle, terminal A gets positive whereas the terminal B gets negative. As the anode of the diode is connected to terminal A and the cathode of the diode is connected to the terminal B, so it gets in forward bias condition. So as the diode is in forward bias condition, we get the output voltage. That output voltage is the DC output voltage and it is the effect of current flowing through the load resistor RL. You have to draw also the waveforms. When there is a negative half cycle, during negative half cycle, the terminal A gets negative and the terminal B gets positive. The diode connections are reversed. It gets in reverse bias condition. It gets in reverse bias condition, and as we know, the reverse bias diode offers infinite resistance, so therefore there is no output voltage during the negative half cycle. After negative half cycle, again there is a positive half cycle arrives, and during this positive half cycle, again the diode gets in forward bias condition and we get the output voltage. In waveform, here we shown the 2 positive half cycle, and for two positive half cycles, we get the two number of the positive half cycles at the output side. Instead of saying it as a positive half cycle, we say these are the ripples. These are the ripples. Here, these are we call as a ripple because it looks like it falls as a ripple from the upper waveform towards the lower one. Okay, so these are the ripples or these are the peaks. So therefore here its output voltage is we call as the average DC output voltage because it is not a pure DC. It is the average of the various peaks available here. Okay, so this is all about the half wave rectifiers working. Now we have to see the various parameters and the advantages and the disadvantages of the half wave rectifier. First parameter is here. That parameter is the DC output voltage, average DC output voltage. Here it is the average DC output voltage. The average DC output voltage of this half wave rectifier is given by Vp upon pi. Vp divided by pi, it is given as Vp upon pi. Vp is the peak voltage of secondary of transformer. It is the peak voltage of secondary of the transformer. Vp is the peak voltage. Then here one important parameter we have to see. This parameter is we call as the PIV rating of the diode. PIV. PIV is the peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage. Peak means maximum. Inverse means reverse. It is the maximum reverse voltage rating of the diode. Its definition is very simple as per its name. The peak inverse voltage is the maximum reverse voltage at which the diode can withstand, the diode can stand without failure. As we know, the diode can be connected in the two ways. Either it is connected in forward bias condition or it is connected in reverse bias condition. Forward bias, when the diode is in forward bias condition, here the current starts flowing through the diode. If the diode is in reverse bias condition, the current through the diode is almost equals to 0. If we consider the silicon or the germanium diode, depending on silicon and germanium diode, there is a reverse current. If we consider the germanium diode, then it is more than the silicon diode. This reverse current is we also called as a leakage current, and it is very small value. It is in the order of few micro amperes. Very less current flows. Okay, but when we increase the reverse voltage, that current starts increasing and we get one condition at which the diode gets fail. The junction of the diode gets fail, and here this voltage is we call as the reverse breakdown voltage of the diode. This is we call reverse breakdown voltage of the diode. Reverse breakdown. But to protect the diode from the reverse breakdown, one rating is given from the manufacturer. That rating is we call as PIV rating. Peak inverse voltage rating. Maximum reverse voltage can be applied across the diode without failure of the diode. If we are using the diode 1 and 4007, this diode having the inverse rating voltage of the 1000 volts. This is having the PIV rating of the 1000 volt, means it can withstand up to the 1000 volt of the voltage across it, reverse voltage across it. So this voltage rating is we call as the PIV rating. But here this PIV, peak inverse voltage, the maximum reverse voltage across the diode is only the Vp means only the peak voltage of secondary of the transformer. For an example, if the peak voltage of the secondary of the transformer is 100 volt, then here the diode we use, that diode can withstand at the 100 volt. If we increase it and the PIV rating of the reverse breakdown voltage rating of the diode is only the 100 volt, then that diode gets failure. Okay, so before going to construct the rectifier, we have to consider what is the maximum reverse voltage can be applied at the diode in reverse bias as well as the ratings of the diode. Okay, so the PIV rating of the diode is the maximum reverse voltage that can be applied across the diode. In this rectifier, the maximum reverse voltage can be applied across the diode is only the Vp, and this Vp is the peak voltage of secondary of the transformer. Okay, now one more rating or one more parameter is there. That parameter is the ripple frequency. For the ripple frequency, we move towards one waveform here, the output waveform and the input waveform of the secondary of the transformer. Here the input to the secondary of the transformer is this one. This is the input waveform of the rectifier. This is input we apply. This input is the secondary voltage of the transformer, and here there is a output waveform of the rectifier. When there is a positive off cycle, we get here one peak at the output of the rectifier. If there is a negative off cycle, here the output voltage is equals to 0 because load current is also equals to 0. When there is a next positive off cycle, for this next positive off cycle, we get one more peak at the output of the rectifier. So we are getting here one peak for the one cycle of the AC. We are getting one ripple for the one cycle of the AC. From this point to this point, there is a one cycle of the AC, and for one cycle, we are getting one ripple at the output side. So number of ripples for the one cycle is we call as the ripple frequency. Number of ripples, we are getting only one ripple for one cycle. It means here, as there is a input frequency, there are the same number of the ripples. It means the ripple frequency is equals to the input frequency. If the input frequency is 50 Hz, then we get the 50 numbers of the ripples. So it is the 50 Hz. The number of ripples we get for the input wave is we call as the ripple frequency. Okay, here one important parameter is there. That important parameter is we call as a ripple factor. The ripple factor is important parameter of the rectifier. Here it gives the quality of the rectifier, and it is what? It is the ratio of the RMS value of AC component. It is the ratio of the RMS value of AC component to the DC component in the rectifier output. This is we call as a ripple factor. The ripple factor is the ratio of the RMS component of the AC and the DC component at the output of the rectifier. In simple words, I would like to tell you the definition of this ripple factor. The ripple factor is the ratio of the AC voltage available at the output of the rectifier to the DC voltage available at the output of the rectifier. As its ratio, then here this ratio is the 1.21, and here this ripple factor can be calculated by using this formula. The ripple factor equals to RMS value of the AC component, or in simple words we can say the AC voltage divided by the DC voltage. AC voltage divided by DC voltage multiplied by 100%. Multiplied by 100%. Okay, this ripple factor is useful when we see we compare the rectifiers. Okay, we have to see the advantages and the disadvantages of the half wave rectifier. First upon we see the advantages. What are the advantages of this half wave rectifier? The rectifier having the advantage, that advantage is its simple circuit and low cost circuit. It is a simple and the low cost circuit. Why it is simple? It is simple because we require to use only one transformer and one diode. As we are using the normal type of transformer and a single diode, so therefore its cost is also very low. Okay, so this rectifier is a simple in construction and low cost. It requires the normal type of transformer and it requires only one diode. One more advantage is there. It is this rectifier can be constructed without transformer also. It can be constructed without transformer. But this is not advantageous because if we not use the transformer, then there is much more risk of getting shock. Okay, so we can write down only two advantages, and these two advantages are it is simple and low cost circuit, as well as it is required only one diode and the normal type of the transformer. The important to us is the disadvantage of the half wave rectifier. This half wave rectifier having many disadvantages, but we written here only three disadvantages. From that, the first one disadvantage is this rectifier converts only the positive half cycle of the AC input wave. So therefore, it provides the less DC output voltage. And here we can write down one more disadvantage as it wastes the negative half cycle. Therefore, its efficiency is only 40.6%. Its efficiency is very less. Okay, here its ripple frequency, as we had seen earlier, the ripple frequency of this rectifier FO is equals to F in. Ripple frequency is very less. It means it is equals to the input AC frequency, and as we know, the AC is either the 50 Hz or it is the 60 Hz all around the world. As the rectifier having the less ripple frequency, therefore the output is the poor quality DC output. Its output consisting the ripples, and it cannot be easily filtered by using the simple filter circuit. We require to use the number of filters, or here to get up from these disadvantages, to overcome from these disadvantages, we require to use the next type of rectifier, and that rectifier is the full wave rectifier. That rectifier is the full wave rectifier. Okay, the working of this full wave rectifier and how the full wave rectifier works, how we can construct, that we will see in our next video lecture.